why being too consciously aware of people's behavior patterns can mess you up psychologically. Hey everyone, this is T-Pan. I'm bringing you another video. I wanted to quickly talk about this topic. It's because lately I've been over-analyzing a lot of people's behavior patterns. It's because I love behavior patterns. I love to read people. I love human behavior. That's one of the things I like to dive into and actually read about because I just find it very interesting. It's a great topic to dive in, especially if you want to become more social with other people, you want to increase your social intelligence, you want to become more socially aware of certain situations, right? To help protect yourself and to help protect other people in general. And like I was saying, I was over analyzing recently. It's because lately I've been letting more people into my life. I'm very selective with the energy I give to people. I'm very selective with who I let into my life. And that's just been a thing for a very long time. It's because a lot of different scenarios or situations that I've dealt with just personally ticked me off in a wrong way. And I'm not really into letting anyone in my life these days. It's more like, okay, you got to prove that you could actually get into my circle and, like, get my attention in a way. Is because at the end of the day, negative people are always going to push you down, bring you back down into like the worst position, right? And negative thoughts, let me tell you something. So the brain's tendency to focus on negative thoughts is deeply rooted in the evolutionary and cognitive processes, right? And that is developed over time. That's something I just wrote down because at the end of the day, you gotta understand everyone has limiting beliefs, and it's up to you to get rid of the limiting beliefs. And I want to tie this into overanalysis because you could overanalyze people. You could overanalyze their steps, their next steps, how they behave, what their character traits are, and all of that, right? But if you start to understand, like, oh, these guys are playing a huge role on yourself, because if they're speaking negatively about you, towards you, right? They're basically subconsciously putting limiting beliefs on yourself, and that's gonna be consciously in your mind, and then afterwards it's gonna turn into subconsciously thinking, right? So meaning you're subconsciously gonna think that, oh, you're a loser, oh, you're a failure, or whatever the case is, whatever other people implant beliefs in you, or whatever you implant a belief in you, right? That's another thing. Like, for example, when it comes to school and you're not the best, right? I think that a lot of other students tend to call other people dumbasses, quote unquote dumbasses, like, just because you're not great at school. And that's going to mess you up psychologically. It's because it's a limiting belief. It's going to put a low standard for yourself. You're not going to be able to get rid of that limiting belief until you understand it. You have to be consciously aware of these limiting beliefs, right? And I'm going to tie this back into, you have to be consciously aware. If you're over analyzing, that's something you have to stop, because this leads to overthinking, right? I'm starting to overthink recently. It's because I'm over analyzing. I don't need to over analyze people. It's bullshit, in my opinion. On top of that, this leads to stressing out a lot and anxiety. And I realized that in order to stop this, I gotta limit my time with certain people. I gotta limit my time with who I hang out with. I gotta cut people off, right? And then the second one is heightened sensitivity to criticism. If you're hyper aware of a lot of situations, right? Especially if you're hyper aware of how people behave, especially close friends and all that, and they're not the best people, and they start to give you criticism, that's honestly going to be very challenging, in my opinion, right? Especially in general, criticism is something that's harsh. You have the ability to either think positively or negatively. And you have to think positively, because at the end of the day, someone who cares about you will truly give you the best criticism. But someone who doesn't care about you will give you trash criticism just to push you down, bring you back down into the worst position of your life. You got to start understanding that if you don't know how to be very selective in your life, that's just going to ruin you in the long term, all right? That's just a tip that I give out to so many people. Always check the people you're surrounding yourself with. Let's just say every few months or every 6 months, just analyze it. Check, like, okay, are these guys truly helping me to achieve my goals? Are these guys or girls truly helping me to reach the next level, right? That's another thing. Like, a lot of people need to understand that you got to be surrounded with great people, because if you're surrounded with trash people, negative people, you're going to be like them, and that's going to ruin your potential. The third one is strained relationships. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. So basically, I met a lot of people throughout the last couple of years. I had a lot of like great friends. Now they're old friends, right? Because I cut off a lot of people, in my opinion. It's because it's their actions, right? It's the words. And once something is done, it's kind of hard to reverse, right? And I know a lot of these guys did not have bad intentions. It's more like they want to respect my morals and values, and they knew that how I was against certain things, meaning like smoking and drinking and all of that, right? And like other things, I'm not gonna get into it. But it's like once you lie about something, once you do something that's like basically irreversible, it's over. And that's the same thing when it comes to over analyzing people, or actually being too consciously aware of people's behavior and patterns, right? Because you're always trying to understand how the person's acting. You're always trying to understand how they're thinking, what their next sentence are going to be like, right? And that can mess up your relationships. You got to understand. It's I started to see that within myself, right? Like, I'm trying to overanalyze what their next sentences are, or what they're trying to do next, right? All of that. And that's going to mess up your relationships. Like I'm saying, it's a blessing and a curse, because for example, it could be a blessing because if someone's trying to manipulate you and you're 10 steps ahead of them, they're not going to manipulate you. Come on. It's that easy, right? But when it comes to like someone you really care about, and you're over here just analyzing their every step, the behavior patterns, how they're thinking, how they react, all of that, right? And you think, oh, I could just call it out. Oh, I could just say this. Oh, it's not going to hurt them. Whatever the case is, right? That's going to mess up your relationships. And I'm pretty sure if you're someone who's consciously aware of behavior patterns, people's behavior patterns, then you would understand how this could mess you up psychologically, right? It's because you care about them. But the thing is, reading someone every single time is so annoying, especially for the other person who knows that you could read them, but it's like, damn, give me a break. I don't know how to really explain it. It's more like it's the type of feeling that you'll feel if you ever experienced it. All right, so the fourth one is difficulty to relax, right? Because you're always constant, vigilantly, I guess, trying to read people, right? So, like, it's of course you're never gonna relax in social settings. Of course, you're never gonna relax whenever you're around your family and friends, because you're always reading people. Goddamn, take a break. Stop reading people. And that's the thing. I'll tell you a story, right? So it's not really a story. It's a little thing I want to tell you about myself, right? I have trust issues. I'm gonna be completely honest. Is because throughout the years, a lot of people did me dirty, and it's something that I'm improving on every single day. But that's why I'm very selective with the people I surround myself with. Of course, because I want to achieve greatness in my life, I want to become someone crazy great in life. But the thing is, I know that I have trust issues is because of these situations. It's because like I got done dirty throughout the years. It's more like I hate when people lie. That's one of the worst things someone can do, especially if you truly care about them and they truly care about you. Yet they tend to lie. They tend to just take that for granted, and that's when I know, okay, if you lie constantly and I know for a fact that you're lying, best believe I'm cutting you off. Ain't my problem. It's your problem, right? And like I'm saying, it's difficult to relax because if you went through so many scenarios or situations in your life and you have trust issues, you always want to read people. You always want to understand how they're thinking. Is because you don't want to experience any negative situations. And that's what I realized over time. Life is all about the ups and downs, regardless, okay? Even if you're having the worst day, you always have to tell yourself, I'm having a great day, I'm going to have a great day. Whatever the case is, you have to affirm these beliefs, these positive beliefs, consciously, because if you want to build up your character, if you want to build up your mental fortitude and all of that, right, you have to affirm these beliefs, these positive beliefs. And when it comes to analyzing people too much, it's just gonna leave you feeling like there's no there's no point. You can't relax. You can't be yourself in social settings, right? And that's the problem. Like once you realize you can't be yourself in social settings, it's even more stressful. And that's why I just go with the flow these days. It's like whatever. If people like me for who I am, I'm all right. But I don't care if people don't like me for who I am. It's just their problem, right? Not everyone's gonna like you. Number 5, comparisons and self-doubt. All right. So this is for the people who like to read people and like to compare themselves. Oh my god, this is a juicy one because I'm gonna be honest, comparing yourself is the thief of joy. I'm pretty sure you guys heard this phrase. All right. The thing is, if you're comparing yourself with your friends, if you're comparing yourself with your family friends, if you're comparing yourself with family members, if you're comparing yourself with strangers, whatever the case is, right? Like you gotta understand, this could be a positive thing slash a negative thing. But majority of the time, it's a negative thing for a majority of people because they don't know how to stop this, right? They don't know how to use it for a positive feeling. For me personally, I like to use it like for example, if I compare myself with like someone I truly care about, someone I admire, it's because I want to get to their level. It's freaking amazing how these guys are like going to the next levels this fast. It's crazy how these guys are achieving these achievements at this age and all that, right? So of course I want to compare myself because I don't want to be left behind in a way, but everyone has their different time. Everyone has different timelines to achieving success, right? And that's the thing. This could lead you to having self-doubt. And everyone goes through this stage. Everyone goes through this stage no matter what. Everyone has self-doubts, right? Whether you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you're gonna have self-doubts throughout the first couple months, first couple of years, probably a decade, because you don't know if it's gonna work out. And that's the crazy part, right? I think, like I said, you really don't know if it's going to work out. And of course, you're going to have self doubts because while other people are climbing up the ladder in the corporate world, you're out here just literally barely making it out, barely eating, barely, paying your bills, which is a sad part and crazy part. But like, if you see it in a long term perspective and you keep working at it, you're going to achieve something crazy regardless. And even if you don't, you can still change your life around. That's what I truly believe in. If you truly put in the work, you can change your life around any time. And yeah, self doubt is always going to be there, regardless. Whether if it's you trying to find a job, get an interview, or going through the interview process, whatever the case is, right? Everyone's going to have self doubt. It's just a thing. But when it comes to analyzing people, self doubt could ruin you because you're doubting yourself. Oh, is this person truly right for me? Oh, is this person truly gonna care about me? Oh, is this person truly doing great things for me or trying to actually help me improve in my life? Whatever the case is, right? It's always gonna be there, but you have to realize trust is a huge factor, and being able to build authentic relationships are important too. That's another thing. This video is more of like me trying to unplug all these thoughts and put it in a video format because I know that there's people out there who are just like me, who like to analyze things, who like to over prepare, who likes to, just read people in general because it's pretty fun. And that's the thing. I think once you start to realize certain patterns, once you start to realize certain things, and you're consciously aware that you need to improve on these type of things, you have to make the effort. Where if you're over analyzing and you know that, you gotta stop over analyzing. You gotta start pushing yourself to not really isolate yourself, but to really understand that, hey, these certain people are not gonna help you in the long run. And you gotta spend less time for a bit, right? Just short term, you gotta spend less time. You gotta understand why you're feeling like this, why you're over analyzing, all of that. That's important. But yeah, this video is more of like a rant, and I think like whoever's watching this, damn, I feel pretty bad because like this is just a rant video. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's more like how I'm feeling, and whoever relates this can relate to it. But like I said, just reading people is super fun. I really want to share some lessons in the future how to read people because it's a great thing for anyone being able to read someone can help you choose how you're going to spend your time with them, right? How you're going to use your energy with them. Because at the end of the day, no one wants to waste time. Time is very valuable, especially just it's always been valuable. Yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment down below if you enjoyed it, or whatever the case is, right? I hope everyone's having a great day so far, and bless up, everybody. Bye.